When we divide fractions, what we're really doing is multiplying by the reciprocal. So I take the second term and I flip it and it becomes multiplication. The other thing sometimes I say is dividing fractions is as easy as pie. Flip the second and multiply. Now that we're going to multiply, we're going to simplify and cancel top to bottom. Well, 2 goes into 2 one time and 2 goes into 4 twice. And I should probably make this the third. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to rewrite it. This is really 1, 2, 3 exit. So I can cancel one of these with one of these. And left over on the top, I have an x squared. And on the bottom, I have a 2. And there's my final answer. Next problem. Dividing fractions is as easy as pie. Flip the second and multiply. So when I multiply, all I'm going to do is connect the line. So now what I have to do is I have to factor everything. Well, let's factor what we already know. Let's go ahead and factor x squared minus 1 is a difference of two perfect squares. So I have x plus 1 and x minus 1. Again, the difference of two perfect squares, I have an x minus 2 and an x plus 2. I can also factor this, factors of 1 and 1. So I have an x plus 1 and an x plus 1. So the last piece here is I need to factor this. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 6 and I get 12. Factors of 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this so I can factor by grouping. Let me find some room. Let me go ahead and erase. Can't erase. I'm going to do it right here. So I have 2x squared. I have a plus 4x and a minus 3x and a minus 6 because I use these factors right here. I'm going to factor by grouping. So I'm going to factor out a 2x, and when I do that, I'm left with an x plus 2. Here I'm going to factor out a negative 3, and when I do that, I'm left with an x plus 2. So my factors are, in common, I have an x plus 2, and left over, I have a 2x minus 3. Now that everything's factored, I can cancel anything on the numerator with anything on the denominator if they are a common factor. I have an x plus 1 and an x plus 1. So it looks like my final answer is 2x minus 3 and an x plus 1 on the numerator, and an x minus 1 and an x minus 2 in the denominator for my final answer.